Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. You might hear I'm a little raspier today. I don't know if I have a cold coming on or something, but I'm going to just go through it and do the live stream. It is, what, Thursday, February 10th, 2022. I wanted to say 2020. It's 2022. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm still working on the garage. You can probably see, in the background, it looks a little bit different. I am making progress, making improvements, trying to figure out where I need stuff to go and trying to figure out again what I can throw away and get rid of and never see again and hopefully never need again. That is, you throw something away and then 2 days later you're like, if I only had that, I could have done this, right? So I've got a new 10th Mountain flag up. The old one was kind of faded and rough looking, so I got a new one of those up as well. And I've got my little wing I put up, the one that I made, so that's up there. If I pivot the camera slightly, if I can, there you can see I have the cabinets roughly in the same location, maybe a little further to the back of the garage. And then I have I had a shelf unit right there, and I added that shelf unit above that. So anything I really don't need is going to go up there. And then stuff that I may be, find useful, will be on that lower shelf. And it's coming along. It's coming along. There's still a lot of stuff to hang on the wall. There's still some things I need to figure out where I want to be and stuff like that. I may even rearrange what you see right now, but I think for the most part I'm happy with how it looks. And it is a good day to be outside. The weather today, it's low 60s here in Georgia, not very humid, and enjoying the sunshine and just, being in and out of the garage and taking stuff out to my shed and different things, really enjoying the weather. So hope everybody is doing well, and I don't know how the weather is where you're at, but I hope it's improved from where it was last week. Let's see who's here. Oh, and let me just reiterate, I have my little bell here. I got to announce that. If we get a good question and a good answer, you get a bell. Even if it's me, if it's not me, it'll be somebody over in that chat box who usually has a good answer for questions that we may have. So feel free to field some questions out there if you want, or if there's something you want to talk about in particular, go ahead and bring that up as well. Terry Keithley, afternoon, Barry and all, working in my shop on the 46 Ford. Please hit the like button and thumbs up button. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Terry. Brian B. Hello all. Hello, Barry and all. Hope things are great. They're getting better. It's getting better. Bob Knoll. Hello, everybody. Hello, Bear. How are you today? I think I'm okay. Again, I'm having some sort of something. Respiratory, blah, blah, blah. You know how it is. Don. Hey, I'm early today working on a friend's 67 Riviera today, so busy but listening. Beautiful cars. I like the 68 more than the 67, but it's basically the same body. It's just the nose is slightly different. But yeah, those are sleek-looking cars for being basically battleships. They're huge. You don't realize just how big that car is until you park it next to a normal-sized car. In fact, my 68 that I had, that white one, I parked it next to my wife's minivan, and the front seat of the Riviera matched up to the back seat of the Honda minivan. That's how long that front end is. But it's still a beautiful car. Brian B. Hey guys, how about a math problem? Sorry, I'll be running a T5 with 0.68 overdrive and 355 rear. Is there a way to know my engine RPM, say at 65 with that info? There may be, but I don't have that answer. I can't sit here and do the math for you, but somebody probably has an answer for that. Jerry checking in from the Money Pit, Middle Tennessee. It's sunshine and 60 degrees. I'll give you a bell for that. That's good weather up there. Ron, greetings everyone from the Tri-Cities in Northeast Tennessee. Glad you're here, Ron. And Jerry, Jerry is guessing for Brian. I would guess about 2,200 RPM. Both could depend on the engine, too, whether it's a V6 or V8. That's a good point. Nandu, good afternoon, everybody. Hope your day is going good. It is so far. So far. Crash Rider, greetings from Southern Indiana. Brian B. Tire size is needed also to calculate. Thumbs up, everyone. Valid point. See, that's why we're here. That's why we ask these questions and we get people to interact on this. That is a very important thing, is tire size. Paul Cordeaux, hello. Hope everyone is well. Glad you're here, Paul. Big Shoots Hockey, howdy. Howdy to you. RJ, hello from Norway. Cold, nice, sunny day here today. Okay, nice. Good. Good. I was watching a program the other day or something. May not have been Norway. It may have been the Netherlands. Not the same. But I remember the end just kind of triggered me. So we'll not get into that. Rally. Hello, everyone. Shop looking good there, Barry. Hey, everyone, hit that like button. Yes, by all means, hit that like button. Yeah, and it's coming along. I've got, you probably can't see it very well, but I've got this pile over here. Almost all of that is screws, like just random screws and hardware. I've already filled up half a shelf with nails. I don't know why, but I have enough 6-penny finished nails to build a house. I've got like 3 boxes up. I don't know why. And some of them aren't even opened. You know, it's one of those things. I should get some of those. And I got them. And now I find I've got all kinds of different sizes of nails and galvanized and cement coated. And looks like I got some dirt on my face. So, you know, it's that stuff. I don't really want to toss this, right? I've got a big box over here of, let me show you. I've got this big box of 8-penny nails. Why? What am I going to do with these? I'm going to give them to a friend. That's what I'm going to do. He does carpentry work, so maybe he can use them. I hate to throw them away, though, right? If nothing else, they go to scrap metal. But, man, that's just, it's tough to throw stuff away. Let's see. Paul Cordeaux, I wish I had that much room. I can barely squeeze around the car in my workshop. Yeah, it's convenient. You know, we all want a bigger shop. I mean, I could stand to have twice this size, and then I'd have everything inside, all the cars and stuff. But right now, that's not going to happen. Isaac, Barry, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Was 48 this morning, but up to 70 now. Nice. That's good weather right there. That is good weather. Copper State Treasure says hello. I'm glad you're here. Ron Bell. Barry, when you painted Jade, you used some 1/4-inch all-threaded space to quarter panel extensions from the quarter panel. I remember you mentioned something about it. Did that work well for you? Yes. I used it on the extensions and on the front fender headlight buckets. I just, you put all thread in, you run a jam nut back to where you want it to be. Let's say it's 2 inches off or whatever, 2 inch. I put a jam nut, and then you put a nut on the inside. And on the quarter extensions, I had to add washers because the nuts are kind of small and they would want to pull through the holes. So I added washers, but on the front, I had really long pieces of all thread, and I was able to just set them in the car. I didn't have to run any nuts on the backside, thankfully. There was enough mass and weight there that it would stay in the fender. So yeah, that works great doing that. Nandu, nice progress. Oh, good question, Ron, by the way. Nandu, nice progress on the shop. Thank you. Karsten, good evening, everybody. Work on my son's Buick Electra so I can soon go to work on my 69 Riviera. Nice. Good. Electra, that's a big car, too. I don't know what you did. Did you tell us what year the Electra was? There's just something magical about that name, Buick Electra. You know, you just think of this big, powerful machine. And usually they were really big. And it seems like every one of them, I can picture is like painted white or has a cream vinyl top on or something. You know, that kind of color configuration. CRR Hodes. Okay. Strategizing to replace full floor pan in a 49 Ford F1. I have a small shop, so lifting it up a few inches on jack stands or blocks is far easier than picking with cherry picker or completely removing it. Okay. Who makes the floor pan is probably the first question I would have for that. And you say it's a full floor pan. So what I would probably do in that situation is, run some cross bracing. With the doors off, take some 1-inch square tubing, and you can tack weld to the door jamb so that the cab doesn't flex in and out. It may not be that big a deal. If it's a well-made pan, it lines up with everything, great. But if it doesn't, you might be flexing the cab, and you want to maintain the reveal on the doors. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. Just reinforce the cab so it can't flex in and out on you. Good luck with that. Brian B. Well, I believe this tire size would only affect actual ground speed and not RPM. Could be wrong. Well, when you were asking the question, though, you were asking what would the cruising RPM be, right? Because I know you'd said 65 miles an hour, right? Excuse me. So with 0.68 overdrive and 355 gear rear, there's a way to know my engine RPM, say at 65 miles per hour. The thing is, if you're running 14-inch tires, that's going to be a lot different than running 15-inch tires, right? So you can configure that however you want, but I know the tire size will have an effect on it. Just like if you swap out on a truck, if you go from 31 to 33-inch tires, your speedometer reads slower. So tire size will matter in the configuration. And CRR says, clever suggestions welcome. Okay, good. Yep. Copper State, we have the same tons of nails, etc. Don't want to toss in case we need it. Yeah, I've got so many nails and stuff. I was looking through, I've got all these PVC connectors, elbows and T fittings and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? I don't need it. Danny Alva checking in from Paducah, Kentucky. Glad you're here. Ron Bell says, thanks. Okay, yeah, on extensions. Good. Lauren, good afternoon, Joe. Good afternoon, Lauren. I'm just going to call you, just go with Lauren. Probably easier that way. Karsten is a 67 Buick Electra. That's a big car. Raleigh, the big Buick 225, long black, and it took me forever to wash and wax it when I was a kid. Yeah, that's a big car. Big car. Brian, thanks for the input, dog. Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things to factor in. There really are. RJ, your shop is becoming nice. When you're finished, you will find peace in your head, and working in the shop will be more satisfying. That's what happened to me when I did my shop. Keep up the good work. Thank you, RJ. Thank you. Yeah, and there's still, everywhere I look, it's clutter right now. Just everywhere. And, little bits here and there. I gave away some oil today. I had 15 different containers of oil. Like 1 quart of 10W40, 1 quart of 10W30, 1 quart of, whatever. And it was Mobil, Quaker State, Pennzoil, Castrol, all different stuff. And I have a friend of mine. He has a vehicle that it leaks oil. So he's like, I'll take whatever you got. I was like, here. So he took 7 quarts of just random oil that he can run through his vehicle. And, because I have no use for it. It's just going to sit on the shelf. Just like I have like 6 gallons of antifreeze. Well, that'll eventually come in handy. But for now, it's just space, taking up space. Crash Rider, think of tire size as a gear. The smaller it is, the faster it turns. Exactly right. Exactly right. That's why, you can do a burnout. If you put a small tire on a Honda Civic, you can do a burnout. You run a big tire on it, it's going to fight with it. It's not going to want to run. But yeah, it's a combination of things for sure. And I know there's probably actually a calculator online somewhere that'll tell you all that. I know in the past I've looked up tire sizes relative to your car, right? It'll tell you your car came with 235, 75, 15s, whatever. And I think there's a way you can say, well, if I want to run a 245, then it'll scale it so you can run the 245 and have to change some dimensions. But I know there was something out there that was telling you or could tell you the gear ratio, some sort of calculator. Um, I don't have that formula. I don't have that formula. Boogie Bum. Hello, all from Nashville. The shop is looking good, Barry. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is coming along. And this is, you know, again, there's so many things in here that just don't need to be here. I still have to finish up that corner, and that's going to have to come later. I just can't get up there and finish that right now. But I was thinking of, like, up there on that wall, since it's such a narrow kind of space, I may get some plastic, bins to put all the screws that are on the floor. I have all these boxes of screws down here, and I may just put some bins over there, take up that little gap, and just get them up, out of the way. Carson had to knock over a wall in the garage to get that Buick in. I'll bet. I mean, those are big, big cars. There is no doubt how the size of the Buicks. Any of those. With the Buick Roadmaster and the Electra, the 225, and all, just behemoth. Big, big, big vehicles. And, you compare that to today's cars, like my little Honda Fit. It might take up half the space of one of those Buicks. And, all of that is relative to gas mileage, all those sort of things. We are burdened with the conveniences of modern cars, like power windows, power seats, power door locks, air conditioning, all these add-ons, right, that we add on to the car just to make it our thing to drive, right? But the reality is, all those things add weight to the car. So if you were to eliminate X, take out air conditioning, take out all the power options, put in the standard seats, just kind of make it as rudimentary as possible. Those little cars, or any kind of car, will increase gas mileage. I think there were some ads I saw. I know I saw ads for, I think it was 1977 or 78 Datsun something, 210 or whatever, little hatchback. And at that time, with a standard carburetor, they said they were getting 52 miles to the gallon. 52 miles to the gallon, highway. Probably doing 45 miles an hour, 52 miles a gallon. That's, back during the gas crunch days. And that car didn't have anything. I mean, it didn't have air conditioning. It didn't have power seats. It didn't have power windows. Didn't have any options. And the car was, lightweight overall. So there's obviously a trade-off to all that. But, yeah, there's big Buicks. I don't know what they weigh. They're got to be 1.5 tons at least, maybe 2 tons. That's a lot of metal to be moving down the road. Iron Horrors checking in. Howdy, Barry. Hello, everyone. Glad you're here, man. I should get you on the live stream sometime, just to talk. I try to catch your videos when I can. But yeah, we should get you on the chat, on the live stream. Copper State says hello to Iron Horse. Brian, my shop is finished off on the inside, but I need to get some white paint on the walls for light and cleanliness before I paint the Fairlane. Thanks for the inspiration, Barry. Shop is looking great. Yes, thank you. It's getting there. It's getting there. One thing I did find when I was putting up the paneling, the Luan board or whatever it is, I had the ceiling foamed. I had it all foamed, right? And I was putting that up there, and I was painting it. I was starting to do the edges, and I felt cold air hit me in the face, and I was like, "How is this cold? Where's this coming from?" Well, you probably can't see it very well, but there's a few areas right there where I just refoamed it. There were some pockets where air was coming through the soffit and working its way into the shop. And I went around I took a little incense stick and just was walking around, and I could see it escaping as well whenever I had the heater running, pushing out the top. I'm like, well, spray that up, spray that up, and so I did. Iron Horse, hey, if you want to get on the chat, with me, if you want to, um, send me an email. Send me an email at that joedaddysgarage@gmail.com, and I will send you a link, and you can be on this chat today, and we can just talk about stuff, see what's going on. Ray Buckman, afternoon, Barry and all. It's a beautiful day. Yes, it is. It is. I agree, 100%. Karsten, it is a two-man job to get the front seat out. I think it's 200 pounds. It might be, because I know that even those had that probably had power seats and everything in it, and those, there was nothing lightweight about that at all. Yeah, it's 66 today. 66 right now. It says 66 in Atlanta, and we might have a. It won't get any much warmer than that for the rest of the week. But spring is coming. Spring is coming. So, in fact, let me I'll just point this out. I saw something yesterday that I hadn't seen before. And I've been around for quite a while. We have maple trees in our front yard. And we have one maple tree that tends to weep. It has sap running out of it. And, if somebody were to make maple syrup, and I would take, have to tap so many trees and so many gallons to make whatever. But I've noticed yesterday, in the last couple of days, honeybees. I'd never seen this before. There were honeybees all over that tree. And I say all over. I mean, there was the lower 3 feet of the tree, lower 3-4 feet. There was sap like dripping out of limbs. That's how much it's pushing out. And if sap is the right term, I don't even know. But anyway, there were probably 20 or 30 honeybees all over those things, and other flies and stuff, taking advantage of that. So I'm really happy about that. I know I have a neighbor up the street. He's got 3 beehives, and I'm guessing maybe those are they're coming from his place and coming down here and getting that, which is fine with me. I'm happy. I wish I had some honeybees. But anyway, that was just something I had never seen before. I'd never seen honeybees hanging out around a maple tree. So, kind of cool. Let's see. Ray, yeah, loving these longer daylight hours. Yes. I'm noticing that more and more. It's like, it's a little bit later. Okay, great. Good. Iron Horse, kind of hard to focus. For us to watch all yours too, but we watch when we can. Yeah, I know it's tough for me to watch. I mean, I don't get the opportunity very often to just sit down and go, let me see what's going on. But I try to catch up when I can, and if I do, I leave a comment, stuff like that. That's the other thing. I talked about building a jig, right, for a Mustang. And I was talking about making it out of a boat trailer. I don't know if you remember that or not. How many have heard me say that? But I've been actively looking on like Facebook for a boat trailer. Well, one popped up. Let me see if I can. Maybe I can save a picture of this. One popped up this past week, and hold on a second. I went and looked at it. I don't know if it's probably not a good shot. Let me see if I save. Okay. But anyway, I went and looked at this boat, and the guy, the price is really good. Price is really good. We'll just put it that way. So I decided, I went down there, and it was down south of me, and I went and looked at it. The boat itself is gutted. There's no 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 engine, no nothing, no steering. So here's a picture of it real quick. It's the one on the right. The boat itself, I was surprised. The boat is in great shape. There's no dents in it. I mean, no holes in it. No damage. It's a really nice boat. And the trailer, it's a Four Winds, I think, four WINNS, I think is the name, trailer, and it has a removable tongue, which is what I was looking for. The length is probably just about right for what I'm looking at, and the width is fine. I think the width is actually 6 feet. It's 6 feet wide, which I would prefer to have something a little bit narrower. I think maybe be underneath the rocker panels, but that's okay. I can use the 6 foot, and then what I'm going to do is try to and it's made out of square tubing too. It's not C-channel, so it's extruded like square tubing, the whole thing. So I'm going to have some good material to work with. The problem is I have to take the boat too. So now I have to think, how do I get rid of a boat? I I called around a couple of places, and I haven't gotten a response back yet. There are places you can donate a boat, and I have not received any feedback from them just yet. But I'm thinking if I can, if nothing else, I'll cut it into pieces. I hate to say that. The hull, the shell, whatever, it's in great shape. There's nothing wrong with it. But what else do you do with it? What else do you do with it? So anyway, I think I found what I'm looking for. I should be picking it up either tomorrow or Saturday. I think will be when I get it. Isaac, the cars and trucks today are getting so frustrating. Just had to take the 2019 GMC Sierra to the shop. 40,000 miles, has fuel pump issues already, and the 8-speed tranny. Yep. And they're not making them any cheaper, are they? They're not making them any cheaper either. And Isaac having shifting problems. Their fix is flushing the trans. Shaking my head. Thankfully, you bought an extended warranty. Don't imagine how much that would cost. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know if it's all just if GMC is having problems or if there's others, that are having problems as well. But and like I said, they're not making these trucks any cheaper or any of these vehicles. And I'm seeing ridiculous pricing on stuff. It's just outrageous as to what they're getting for these vehicles now. Whoops, let me go back to Charles. After I was thinking of ripping all the plywood and aluminum off an old Coleman pop-up camper to make a body cart to move my 67 Camaro around. That may work. I don't know what the weight limit is on a pop-up. Whether it's, once you remove material, whether it's actually going to be flimsy, So just think about that. What I plan to do with this particular trailer is either I'm going to use camper jacks at 4 locations so I can level the thing up and let it sit, be stable. Or I thought about using the wheel, the crank, on the front. You've got the jack, the one that pivots usually this has a wheel on the front. Getting some of those and putting on each corner. I don't know yet, but I was thinking the camper jacks would work really good, or a screw jack. I could use some sort of screw jack as well. Just have to find 4 of them the same size. Scott, drive to the landfill on the way home with boat. Well, I could. I've heard I've seen some scary numbers on that. Like, and I don't know, I haven't checked my local landfill directly, but I looked online and they were implying that some people have to pay like $900 to get rid of the boat. I can't do that. I can't pay $900 to get rid of the boat. My first thought is to donate it somewhere. And secondly, if I can't, I have a Sawzall. I'll make it into smaller pieces and make it disappear. But I think I'd rather try to donate it if I could. If somebody can do something with it, great. You know, I know they have one something boats for veterans or something. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it a little more once I get it here. Charles says sink it. Yeah, I think there's a law or something about that. I'd have to take it somewhere where nobody would notice. Drag it out with no drivetrain, and hopefully nobody sees me cutting holes in the bottom of it and sinking it out there. Specifications of the boat. That's a good question. Um, I think that the overall length is like 16 feet. And it is a Corsair is the name of it. It is a Corsair. And it was a inboard, inboard, outboard, whatever. I don't know what engine was in it. Probably a 4-cylinder or something. Um, but like I said, the boat, there's nothing in it. There's no, all the steering is gone. All the gauges are pulled. All of the power plant is gone. There's nothing. It is literally just a shell with the, I think the windshield, of course, is still on it. Um, so, yeah, I don't know. I'll figure something out, but I don't need a boat. Actually, I might need some parts from the boat, but I don't need the boat. And if I can find somebody to take it, they're welcome to it. Turn it into a playground for your kid or something. A little playhouse. Actually, my wife suggested that. She's like, you could turn it into a playhouse for our grandson. I'm like, no. There's nothing in it. There's no steering, nothing for him to play with. It would be very boring, very fast. Very fast. But anyway, the trailer itself, I think it's going to work out. I wish it does have the bow center pieces, go underneath the boat hull. And what I'm thinking of doing is taking one or two of those loose and flipping it over so that it comes up. And then I can mount my perches for the body on those instead of having it, adding another bar just for the perches. So it'll be interesting. Danny Alvey, landfill around here is around $80 for a boat. Well, then maybe I'll have to look into that. Rick, any idea why the owner gutted the boat? What's the guarantee the hull is any good? Okay, the reason this guy that I'm getting it from, he does repair work, like for tractors and stuff like that. And apparently he was doing boat work as well, as a side thing. And he bought this one just for the engine. And I guess he got a deal on it or something. And he was pulling that engine out of that boat to put into a customer boat. And once he did that, I think he may have sold off the other pieces and parts that he didn't want and just left it sit. But yeah, I can't. I mean, I looked at the hull, I looked underneath and everything. I don't see any damage to it. In fact, I will say this: it's full of water. The floor, the main floor, there's like a hole in the back where, whatever. When I was getting in and out of it, I noticed there's water in the hull itself. So it's retaining water. It's sitting out in the open, so it's got water in it. Harvey, sink it as an artificial reef. You will be helping marine life. It's already gutted out. Yeah, I don't have any place to do that, though. I don't have any place to do that. I have a feeling if I took it to the lake that we go to, I'd probably get in trouble. Dave Conville, good afternoon. Like the Roadster on the cover pick today. Yes, there's your Dave Bell. I think that's the first Dave we've had today. Oh, another thing. I've talked before about having, let's say, opportunities, right, to do videos on products and stuff like that. Like I did this one on the speaker, and I use this thing all the time, like all the time. I hate turning the radio on because it's just commercials. They'll play one song and 8 commercials, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done with it. So I listen to iHeartRadio on this with my phone, and if I get a phone call or something, it'll tell me. It say, "Hey, phone incoming call," right? But anyway, I've done that. I did a video on that, and I did a video on that Hulkman jump starter. I've probably done one or two others. I don't know, but I've had a company. Well, yeah, the Yes Welders as well. Their products. I had a company. I had several companies contact me recently. One was another jump starter, the Loki Thor. I don't know if you heard of that one or not. It says Loki Thor, Lokithor. They stole the name from Marvel, I guess. But it is a jump starter with an air compressor. So I said, sure, send it to me. I'll do a video on it. We'll see how it works, because I really want to see how the air compressor thing works. It's nice to have a jump starter, but if you got a low tire or a flat tire, you need to have that too. So I'm going to see how that goes. And the other thing, let me see if I can remember my throat is so rough today. The other thing is Evolution Power Company, Evolution Power Tools. I don't know if anybody heard of those, but Evolution Power Tools contacted me through Instagram and said, "Hey, we want to send you a chop saw." I was like, "Oh, you want to send me a chop saw?" So I said, "Okay." So they're going to send me a chop saw. It'll probably be here in the next couple of weeks, I guess. I don't know. And they're even going to throw in a stand, which is fantastic, because it's nice to have the chop saw. But if you know, I almost do everything on the floor. So if I can, get the stand and everything and do a good video for them, they'll be happy. And they offered up a promo code for my channel. So they sent me an email and they said it would be active. I think they said it would be active tomorrow. I don't know if anybody have you seen these Evolution Power Tools? I'd have to see, but it would be Joe Daddy promo. So if you happen to get in there, Joe Daddy promo is what it is. Let's see, Phil. Hi Barry, have you ever had a problem with fillers not adhering to lead seams? Well, I take the lead out. So I guess I'll say no. Because I usually melt the lead out of the car. Get it all out, and then I go back with a short strand fiberglass. Rough it up real good. Pack that stuff on top, and then fill it on top with Rage Ultra. So I think they make some specific for that. There's some sort of a body filler. It's got metal in it somehow. I don't know I can't think of the name right now, but I think they've got something that will work on top of that. But it's got some sort of metal in it. Good question, by the way. Rick Stevenson, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Rick. Crash Rider, the boat trailer seems to be exactly what you need. Modify as needed, and screw type jacks as supports. Of course, we want to see a video of procedure. Yeah, I plan to make a video on it. Now, the challenge is going to be getting my everything in the right spot. So I don't know when I'm going to get to it, right? Because the next car in here should be the 68 Camaro. That's the plan. And then the 67 Coupe to fastback, as long as I can get the metal. So struggle there. But what I'm thinking of doing is bringing the 67 in here, putting it on the lift, dropping rear axle out of it. I'm pretty sure the car is straight. Doesn't look like it's been wrecked. And just use that as a template. So build my trailer the way I want it, my jig, and lower the car with the lift over top of it. Get the height that I want. Make my mount points, and go from there. I've not looked at a specific jig that somebody has made to have a reference. So I have pictures and stuff, so I have a good idea. I know the big thing is, obviously getting the spring perch mounts in the front on the leaf springs. I'll probably make some sort of a perch for the rear frame rails all the way in the back, so that I catch the perch and I catch the frame rails. And then coming forward, I'll have to get the front frame rails, and then, of course, somewhere in the middle. I'm not sure what people normally use on that, but I'll have to research a little bit and figure that out. Rusty, I really like my Evolution 15-inch cold chop saw. Yeah, the one they're going to send me, um, they said it's what's the number on it? Let me see if I don't know what, I'd have to look it up. Um, yeah, the Evo Saw 380 metal cutting chop saw with 14-inch mild steel blade. So I have not, I have an old chop saw that I've used before, and it's held up, but I want an upgrade, and I think this will be a good upgrade. So um, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. So that'll be coming up in the next few weeks. I want to get this all finished up, cleaned up, and taken care of before I do much else. And then of course I don't know when the jump starter thing is going to come. They said they'll be sending it out tomorrow, but that doesn't mean it'll be here tomorrow. It might be 2 weeks from now. Rusty, I have a series on my channel on how I built the jig for my '65 Mustang. Okay. Well, good. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check that out. Because like I said, I'm doing something, I don't know that anybody has done what I'm going to do. It's one thing to build a jig, but it's another thing, I think, to build a mobile jig. I think that's the thing. Because everybody, like if you add up the cost of steel and everything, it's pretty expensive. And if I can get the boat trailer cheap enough, which I will, obviously get rid of the boat. But I have probably enough material laying around right now that I could use to finish the thing off and build it. And it just happens you have to find the right configuration, right? But I don't think anybody has tried that before. At least not to my knowledge. I've not seen anybody put together a jig on a trailer. So it's going to be interesting. Rusty, I think I have the same saw. It's 15-inch compatible or capable, but comes with a 14-inch blade. Yeah, this one, it says, 14-inch mild steel, yeah. And then it'll come with the stand with telescopic arms and folding legs. So I'm really looking forward to that because, like I said, almost everything I do is on the floor when I'm chopping stuff up and welding it together. And it's wear and tear. It's tough on you. It's tough. Rusty, yeah, steel was expensive. Yep. Yeah. It adds up really quick. I'll check out your videos. Phil, I modified a pair of vice grips to replicate spot welds, welded a nut on one side and a stud small to slip inside the nut on the other side. Works great. Wait a minute. A pair of vice grips to replicate spot welds. Oh, so you're making the dimple. You're making it a dimple is what you're saying. So you must have used a pretty good size nut, like a probably, gosh, like maybe ½ inch internal thread, right? Somewhere in that range. And then maybe a 3/8 stud, I'm guessing. If that's what I'm thinking, if I'm thinking what you're saying, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Okay, yeah, he says, yes, the simple large vice grips. Oh, dimple. Yes, to the dimple, large vice grips. Yeah. Okay. I could see that working. Interesting approach. I don't know what others have done in the past, but yeah, I could see that working. Crash Order, you had mentioned the possibility of a universal model. Have you decided on a dedicated Mustang? I think I will do it per the 65 to 68 at this point. I don't know that I'll have if I end up getting something else coming in the future, a 69 or 70 or something like that, then I will probably adapt. I would like it to be universal, be able to move things around, but I will probably set it up, and I may even configure it to where I'll say it maybe a bolt together or something along those lines to where I can move mount points. But the 65 to 68 shares the same everything underneath, other than the cross member. I pointed that out before. The 65 and 6 have the narrow transmission cross member. It's only about that wide, where the 68 is about that wide. And that's why, I made that custom cross member for the convertible project. So that'll be my focus at that point. Now, I don't think I'm going to use it for trying to do the Camaro. I don't think I want to do that. At least I don't think I do. I'll probably use that body cart for the Camaro, the one I had used when I started to do the convertible. I'll probably use that to roll it around because it's a different animal. It doesn't, the front subframe unbolts from it, so it's going to make it kind of lighter. And I'll have to add cross bracing in that car to make it stiff. That's going to be a challenge, honestly, because that car, being that it was rolled over, I can't count on much being in the right places. I'm going to have to try to measure as much as I can and figure out if I need to push some metal a different direction. Of course, I'll be in wide open space once I take the whole side of the car off. I'll be just nothing there at all. So it's going to be an interesting challenge, but one I look forward to. Hooked on Classics. Good evening, Barry and chat. Good evening to you as well. I can tell you this, my throat's getting rougher and rougher. Again, I think I may be coming down with something. I don't know yet. And I'll probably announce this later. I think the last Monday of the month, the 28th, I doubt I'm going to be here for the live stream. I have a kind of a social event that I'm participating in. So I probably won't be doing a live stream. And that's going to be a long gap between the last time that I didn't make a live stream. So just keep that in mind. If you don't see a notification on YouTube, then it's not happening. It's just how it works. Let me see if there's... Okay. All right. But anyway, I'm gonna probably wrap this up. Voice is getting rough. And I've got more stuff to do out here in the shop, try to get this finished up, get rid of some stuff, clean up, make it look better, and get some other stuff going on in here. Hooked on Classics, I like the flag. Yes, that's a fresh one. The other one was pretty chewed up, so I replaced it. Okay. Like I said, I'll be back on Monday. We'll do this again on Monday night at 7. Hope everybody has a good weekend. Be careful out there. Enjoy the weather while it's here. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.